Welcome back, everybody. This is Joaquin Hernandez, the program support manager for Harmony at Home, and I'm super excited to be back for another week, another episode. Please, everybody, put your hands together for our special guest. Her name is Lorena Rodriguez. She is the counseling programs manager, and she's just going to be able to elaborate more on the programs, what they are, what they do. And she started with us over 4 years ago, and she's going to just take it away.
Hi, Joaquin. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for inviting me here today. And I'm so excited to just be here, tell you a little bit more about myself, but also a little bit more about the work that we do in our counseling programs.
Awesome. So I know you've been with us for, a little over 4 years. Why don't you tell us where you started?
Wow. It feels like I've been here a lot longer, but time just flies. And especially when you enjoy what you're doing. So let me tell you, I started here about a little over 4 years ago, and I started here as an intern working for a Sticks and Stones counseling program. And I was there, I was working only 1 day a week, and I was doing most of my field work directly with school districts. But I quickly just fell in love with the work that we do. And I really believe in the work that we do as a whole, as an organization. And so quickly I promoted to counseling program specialist, and then actually was a Sticks and Stone specialist.
Yeah.
And then about a year and a half now ago, I was promoted to counseling programs manager, and now honored to be managing both our Sticks and Stones program and our community counseling program.
Awesome. And we're very, very happy and excited to have you part of the team for sure. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about, the programs, right? Tell us a little bit about what they are, what they consist of, what you do with the programs and how they affect our community.
Both of our programs, Sticks and Stones and Community Counseling, are both school-based counseling programs. Maybe I should start telling you a little bit more about Sticks and Stones, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about our community counseling program. They're very much alike with some slight differences. But with Sticks and Stones, we are, again, a school-based counseling program. We have partnerships throughout all of Monterey County, South County, San Benito County. And what we do is that we provide counseling services for students that have experienced some sort of trauma, and that possibly as a result of those traumas may be exhibiting some concerning behaviors, whether it's at school, at home, or just out in the community. And so the focus of our work is helping all these children and youth to just learn about feelings. We want to make sure that the children understand that when it comes to feelings, we're all humans and we feel them all.
Absolutely.
And it's really more about how do we respond to those harder feelings that really matters, that can make a difference. So the focus of our curriculum is to help students understand their feelings, understand that it's normal to feel those feelings, but also to learn how to express those harder feelings in healthy ways. And hopefully with that, they can really have healthier relationships, better communication with their parents at home, with their teachers at school, but also with their classmates at school. And so under Sticks and Stones, we work with students in small group sessions, and we work with them over a period of 10 weeks. And during those 10 weeks, we pull students out of class. We work with them for about 20 to 40 minutes, depending on their age. And so I mean, we practice, we do a lot of art therapy, play therapy, but it is a CBT focused model that we use. And so the students really, really enjoy their time with us. They really bond with their Sticks and Stones counselor, and even with our community counselors. They love the idea of having that space where they're going to be listened to, and know that they can come in a confidential space, express their feelings, talk about what's going on, and know that they're not going to be judged or get in trouble. And it's just, we really just focus on creating that safe space for them to come together and share about feelings. Then with our community counseling program, it's more of counseling as needed. We have some partners that may not have, for example, a district counselor. And so a lot of times maybe they just need more support as far as just helping students with different emotions, and it's not necessarily trauma focused. It could be, it's like, for example, right now with the whole pandemic and going back to school, there's been a lot of anxiety around that. And so we have the opportunity to work with students just more like as needed. We don't necessarily have to see them for a full 10 weeks. We could see them for less. We can see them for more. And in addition to that, we're also able to provide a little more of parent outreach, support their school staff a little more in different ways. So we have a little more freedom in what we can and cannot do, but still with the same focus in mind, helping children to process and understand their feelings.
Definitely. And I mean, that's amazing, right? It's awesome that, we're given this opportunity, right, to partner up with these schools that are really taking an interest in the mental health of their kids, right, of their their student body. So that's amazing. And she's done amazing work by, having these positive relationships, at the district level, and with, the vice principals and principals of schools to make sure that they're seeing the service for what it is. Like I said, it's just an awesome experience to have her and to be able to have these conversations with her so we can, talk about the future of Sticks and Stones, right? And community counseling and what that looks like. If you can just elaborate a little bit more on, what you believe the impact of Sticks and Stones and community counseling is on the community. How do you think it's affecting our community and the people that we're serving?
I think we impact in so many different ways. First of all, Harmony at Home is considered a training organization where we support counselors, therapists of the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we employ them, we give them the opportunity to practice, gain experience, and always with the direct support of a clinical supervisor. So it really is a safe place to learn too.
Yeah.
So we're impacting in that way, but also with the children that we're working with.
Yeah.
It's been just beautiful to see how we can change a student's perspective of mental health services.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing counseling myself at the schools, sometimes I would have students refer to me that were hesitant about working with me. They were like, well, I don't think I want to be here. I don't want to talk about my feelings. I'm talking to a stranger.
Yeah.
But slowly we really focus on building that trust.
Yeah.
And eventually when you see that turnaround point is when you see those students knocking on your door, bringing a friend to your door saying, hey, Ms. Lorena, can we invite him or her to participate in the program? There's certain things going on at home or whatnot, and he or she needs to be listened to. And I've shared with them about what we do in Sticks and Stones and how we talk about our feelings, and he or she needs that. So they're encouraging their friends, they're spreading the word, because obviously, and if they're doing that, it means that they're really feeling like they're being helped and they want to share the love and they want to bring along their friends. So that's a way that we're making another impact as a whole with the students, because one day those students are going to grow up, they're going to become adults, and they're going to be more open to mental health services. So that stigma around mental health is really going to be changing, because we're creating that foundation with them from the very beginning. With the parents that we are working with, the parents of the children that we are working with, same thing. Slowly but surely, we're making that change in how they feel about mental health services. A lot of times parents are not very open to allowing that sort of support at home. But when they see the change with their children, that's when it's like, you know what, maybe it will help.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned it, right? A lot of the population that we serve out here, especially, South County, Salinas, it's a lot of, Latinx, right? Latinx, population. And, just having that stigma coming from that, my own experience that, if you get mental health services or if you need help, it's almost like a sign of weakness, right? Do you see that a lot? Are you seeing that a lot with the families that, we're reaching out to get consent forms and stuff like that? Is that something you would say is kind of, the biggest pushback?
Definitely, it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. There's still a lot of parents that are not open to counseling services. And it's very unfortunate because, of course, we do require that we have to have a parent consent to be able to work with these students. Hopefully, that is definitely something that will change. And I actually, honestly, I have seen it changed personally from families to families. And it's just such a nice feeling when you see that turnaround with parents. And I've had experiences too where parents said, oh no, my child doesn't need services. And then after we really explain how this service can really help their child, not only to help them themselves process and understand feelings, but also in how they communicate better with them as a parent. So it's really putting it back on, hey, you know what, this will help you ultimately as well in having that better communication with your child. Right now, your child is still young But if from the very beginning you start building that trust between your child and yourself, once that child becomes a teenager, that's when you're really going to be able to notice how big of an impact our services are making in our community.
Very glad for the work that you're doing. And so can you tell us, if there are any new updates with the program? Is there anything, that we have to look forward to? What's going on in the future for the Sticks and Stones, the counseling programs?
Wow. Very good question. And right now we're actually so excited because we have some new changes in the works for next year. Just like I mentioned to you, how slowly but surely we're making that impact. The last couple of years have been very difficult, very challenging because of like the pandemic and how we're delivering our services, who's open to the services, who's not open to the services. And just really building a closer relationship with these families. We're putting together a comprehensive social emotional package that I would be I'm very excited to tell you more about it, but we're still working on it and finalizing that. And very soon we'll be able to share more details on that. But the ultimate goal is being able to just really provide more support to just all students, regardless of whether we have a consent or not, but also families at home. There's so many different types of needs. And then Harmony at Home has so much to offer.
Definitely. And you heard it first here. We are super excited about this new rollout that will be coming to your ears in the near future. It's something that we're hoping to get off the ground by next school year. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue to progress into the future. And we're super excited about that. And I just want everybody to, in your cars or wherever you're listening to this, just give a round of applause to Lorena for being here with us today and taking the time. I know you're very busy. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Awesome. And for those of you who are listening, feel free to, go back and listen to our first episode. Make sure to subscribe if you want to continue to receive these updates, receive this information, receive, all the things that are going on with Harmony at Home. Feel free to subscribe so you can tune in, on a weekly basis. Thank you.